welcome once again to the outdoors where we're working on the Wrangler, and today I'm going to show you the installation process for my Cobra portable CB radio. That's all in one unit. Microphone, radio, it's pretty cool, it's pretty portable. But before I did that, I had to get the antenna hooked up. So we've got the antenna mounted to the rack here, the Garvin tire swing, which is an awesome setup. It's got a lot of brackets here for the water and the gas can. Comes with a bumper and all the little doohickeys that I can put my D-rings on, a bolt. Anyway, we're not talking about the bumper, we're talking about the CB radio. So the CB antenna is a fire stick that is highly recommended for any of you CB radio enthusiasts. You know what fire sticks are. They have to be grounded, and that's a big mistake that I learned from the people at Fire Stick. I happened to pop in on them. They're actually, their main headquarters and manufacturing plant is here in Phoenix, which is very cool. So they told me, they go, hey, is your rack grounded to your body? I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like, well, you know, it comes with this little neoprene washer right down here, right down here, that makes this thing very swingable. See, it swings very nicely. And because it does that, there's no direct metal-to-metal contact down here. So that means that this thing is just kind of floating out there. So that means that this antenna is not going to work because it's not grounded. It's got to be grounded. So what I did, took an 18-gauge wire, wrapped it around some of the bolts of the tire swing, wound it down through here, around this unit here, out of the way, and over under onto the bolts that connect the Garvin bumper to the body. And that makes this a complete grounded antenna. And as I'll show you a little bit later, but it's high enough to get over the body to get a signal. Now, this isn't an all-inclusive and comprehensive installation demonstration. It's just how I did it. So, what I'm going to show you is how to, I don't know, I'm putting a bracket up in the dashboard. Here you can see the height comparison and the relationship to the height of the entire vehicle. It's about 3 feet above the roof. And we're going to walk in here and we're going to mount a bracket way inside there on the other side of the radio. So we have, here's the radio itself, the CB radio. We're gonna have this mounted way over there, way over on the other side of the AM/FM stereo radio. So this will get out of the way. Right now, I just have to toss it over there on the seat, but can't have that when I'm out four-wheeling and romping on the rocks and pounding through the desert. We gotta have it secure. We gotta have everything secure. So that's what we're gonna do today. First thing we gotta do is take off this trim piece, and the instructions call for the use of a trim tool. But you know, when you got a big flat nose screwdriver or a chisel, that'll work. There's something that'll help just pry this piece off. You got to be careful with all the plastic that is on our vehicles, that, you know, things can break very easily, especially after it's been sitting out in the sun all its life. Little Gonzo Captain America is taking care of the Wrangler, but he's going to take a little vacation today. Okay, here we go. We got that piece off. Set that aside. And this is going to expose some bolts up here that I'll have to get a tool. And then what we're going to do is take this off, and then we'll be ready to mount the bracket right over here where the radio's going to sit. Okay, now we've got these two screws up here that I've taken off already. And we've got to take the cigarette ashtray, which I've got some little devices in here that help take the Schrader valve out of the tires to air them down quicker. Good place to keep them. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, so then there's some 2 screws right down in here that need to be taken out. Okay, these hopefully are the only 2 other screws left holding this unit in here. I don't know what all's holding this in here. Looks like that's the main piece. There's other pieces up here that show attachment by way of these more bolts. Hopefully I don't have to take this whole dashboard off. It looked like all I needed to do was take this off. So if I can take these out, then we might be in business. It doesn't seem to be loosening that up at all. I heard something move. Something's moving. It's moving. I think we got it. Gotta be careful, like I said. Don't want to break any of this plastic. Looks like those bolts down there that are holding things in aren't the right ones. There's another one right behind the cigarette ashtray. Ah, well, that puppy's in there good. Goodness. Parking. What's in there? Maybe I can get that out of the way. Okay, I figured this out. I had to get a different Phillips with a better head. You know how these get worn out. But I was able to pop this off then, which is very nicely. The 2 screws on the top and the little, get some good cleaning going on with that one. So we set that aside. And now we've got all this exposed here to put the bracket in. And I can see where this radio, I want to get a new radio too. One that, look at this ancient cassette player in here. Anybody even have any cassettes anymore? Remember when 8-tracks went out? Can't even find an 8-track radio, but a cassette radio. I have on CDs, I can play my Pandora, Bluetooth, maybe even get some XM stereo going on here. But anyway, I've got a bracket now that needs to go. Here's this bracket. That's going to go right on here. It's going to go right there. Yep, there we go. It's on. Got this glove compartment. See what's happening here now. I got to drill a couple holes. And that is going to be so sweet. Alright, so next step is now to drill a couple holes, mount that puppy on there, and then put it all together. Nice, huh? Okay, hey, you see where we got everything back installed, everything all nice and clean? Even Gonzo got a bath. Yee! Okay, I'm going to put Gonzo back up there, because he is the protector of the Wrangler, at least the guide in fog. So we got that back hooked up. You can see where we've got the radio back tucked under here. There's the power source. That's where the antenna's hooked up. See where the coupling, you can just take it off and stow it away. That's also where the power goes. Back up under there with the individual fuse, right through the firewall, directly connected to the battery, which eliminates all engine noise. And, excuse me, and I got the cigarette lighter pulled out because it's never worked. but we're going to need that in order to keep our devices charged, keep the phone charged, you know, maybe even utilize that as a radio when we get the Bluetooth and the XM stereo or what have you. So that's another project. But thanks for tuning in today and catching that installation on the radio. So now we're all hooked up, ready to go, back on the trail, and got the communications going. Right on. Hey, stay tuned and keep following us. Thanks, guys. Bye.